What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The catch fam. I hope you guys are phenomenal tonight. I hope you guys have had the best freaking Monday of all time. Hope you guys are ready because it is time for another live 2024 fantasy football draft. Hopping into an underdog draft tonight. Maybe two, maybe three. We'll see what happens. But we're just going to enter some Chihuahua drafts tonight. We've been enjoying those. Oh, gosh. We better get in quick. This 99.7 fill rate. Okay, I was going to try and wait for you guys, but get on in here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think we just filled that. So, holy cannoli, Batman. We'll see how many of these we can get into tonight. Hopefully, quite a few. But I don't know if, maybe you guys got into this one with me. Maybe you didn't. I don't see any familiar names in here. So, by the way, I'm trying out everything here on Streamlabs for the first time in a while. So if you guys are noticing any technical difficulties during tonight's stream, whether it is visual or like audio, let me know, and we'll go from there. I'm also trying to get, okay, so you guys can like barely see the chat box, but it is on the screen, and for the most part, that's why I've been, sorry if the screen looks weird to you guys, just saw my desktop background, but that's why I haven't been using Streamlabs, because I like the chat to be on the screen, but it is on there. For some reason, Cat's chats didn't show up, so I don't know. Trying to get that figured out because I want like the YouTube commentary and your guys' questions to be on the screen. And I've seen other streamers who are like able to do that, and I don't know. I just have like this tiny little chat box thing. So I'll try and get that figured out. That's really I like everything else about this layout more. So okay, we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. And we're going to draft a team. So I do have one private slow draft that's active on our Discord page. If you guys just go down to the Underdog chat. So I'm just going to be like continuously trying to fill slow drafts with you guys, especially if you guys are new to best ball, new to Underdog, get you guys a little bit of a better understanding, but also it'll just help the community have more active drafts throughout the season. And just give you guys more opportunity to play fantasy football with me, because obviously we run a ton of redraft leagues. We have plenty of dynasty leagues with the community as well. Wow, what's going on with this draft here? I just looked down, and I'll go JJ here. I don't mind Amon Ra here, but okay, C-Mac, Bijan, and Brees Hall all gone the first 6 picks. I mean, C-Mac, that's one thing, but okay. Interesting start to the draft. I like it. But obviously we do all the leagues through Sleeper, and this will just give us some more competitive leagues and best ball style leagues as well. And like I said, if you guys are new to Underdog, new to best ball, maybe that's a little bit of a lighter way to get into it if you're kind of curious to see how things work. And of course, as the screen says, link is down below for you guys, and I should get this up in the chat for in a minute as well. But if you are new to Underdog, promo code The Catch will get you a 50% deposit match up to $250 on Underdog Fantasy if you are a first-time depositor. So, you know what to do. Okay. Okay, the chat looks kind of okay on the screen. Right? All right, so Kat says he's better at fantasy football than me because he does not draft DeAndre Swift. Stop the DeAndre Swift hate in the chat, please. I do not condone it. Do not condone it one bit. instant fill. I just don't know if this might be the last Chihuahua that we're able to do. This might be it. JJ or Amon Ra here for me. Yeah, I mean, I already have a lot of exposure to Amon Ra. Like, the first, like, 8 drafts or so this season, like, I was in the position to draft Amon Ra. Like, I just got Amon Ra, and I was early on making the, argument for Amon Ra over JJ and Jamar Chase. So, as of late, the last couple drafts I've done, I'm trying to get a little bit more exposure to Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson when in that position. Still have Lamb and Tyreek above all those other wide receivers, but yeah, just trying to switch up that exposure a little bit and go from there. So, but I do agree with you guys. Amon Ra is still my guy for sure. All right, so we have a little Brandon Ayuk drama. I'm still gonna draft him. Like, I don't really care, but yeah, was FaceTiming with Jaden Daniels of all players, and said that the 49ers don't want him back, and it's like, I don't know. My gut feeling is still that Brandon Ayuk's going to be a 49er this year, and even if he's not, like, I don't really care. I still believe in the player. I was super high on Brandon Ayuk last offseason, going into last year. Like, begged you guys to draft Brandon Ayuk. Had a lot of shares of Brandon Ayuk last year, and he had a great season, right? So, I just don't, like, we talked about this on one of the weekend streams. Like what team could Brandon Ayuk go to that you're just like, yeah, I don't like that situation, like, not if you guys were out on Brock Purdy last year, and he was obviously perfectly fine with Brock Purdy. He was a wide receiver 14, and season before he was wide receiver 15 with Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's like, I guess 2022 was, but Garoppolo and Purdy. Yeah. But anyways, it's like, what team? I mean, obviously this is a great system, right? So I get that if you're just like down on him going to a different team, but I don't know. I'm just not worried about Brandon Ayuk, and quite frankly, I'm not like really that worried about T. Higgins as well, who's going much later in drafts right now. Higgins going at ADP of 40.6, which is interesting. Really interesting. Because honestly, it's tough to look at Higgins versus Ayuk because Higgins was banged up last year. I don't know. All right, I'll tell you guys if Derrick Henry is available here, I will take Derrick Henry in a heartbeat. If he's not, and yeah, I really think I have Henry over Kyren Williams at this point in the offseason. I don't dislike Kyren. What do you guys think the main reason for Kyren dropping back in drafts is? Is just like the injury concerns kind of popping up? But yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I'm in on Henry over A-Chain, over Kyren, and that's probably about it. But like, I think Henry should be getting drafted closer to Saquon Barkley, and Barkley has moved up in ADP, but beforehand, I was arguing like when Barkley was going like end of the second, same situation where I was like, dude, like Barkley should be moving up on draft boards, and he did. So now it's like not as much of a conversation, but Barkley should have a huge season as well. Both those guys. I talk about this every stream. Like, I just want shares of both players. All right, so Chihuahua is full. Officially full. Dang, we streamed just in time. Cat's Quorum hype, probably. I like his value at this point. Yeah, I think so you like Quorum's value or you like Kyron's value? And J-Dub says, I agree with the Kyron slide. Yeah, I don't like necessarily disagree with it. I do feel like a lot of people are kind of looking at him as kind of shaky in the position he was in. Or at least at his ADP. Like everyone else, all other running backs in that kind of tier felt a little bit safer. Catch is actually both. Okay. Fair. Fair. Yeah, and I think it like really boils down to like how confident are you in that offense next year. And I think a lot of people are truthfully very confident in that offense next year. So if you like it as kind of, I don't want to say a sleeper offense, but um, right now, I guess outside of Puka, they are kind of a sleeper offense. I mean, Cup's going 3.10 tonight. I guess not really. I guess Stafford's really the only guy being slept on in terms of fantasy. The Boston Celtics just won the NBA Finals. Anyone is curious? I was waiting for Dallas, but I think after the first two games, I was like, okay, well, Boston's probably gonna pull this thing out. So, this is a weird spot. All right, I'm gonna go back-to-back running backs here. I'm gonna go Pacheco, but I kind of felt like taking Higgins, Pickens, or Cooper. But we'll go double running back here. J-Dub says Kyron had a ton of volume, but round 3 is much better than 1-2. Yeah, I definitely like him more in the third. But I think that's also just part of like we were just getting him in the first, and now he just feels like a much better value because of the fact that he's slid back a round or two. Yick is asking, half PPR, draft Chase or Bijan? How many teams in the league? Like 10, 12? Half PPR, I'd probably go Bijan. Yeah. Um, a best ball format's different. Like Underdog is obviously half PPR, but it's also play 3 wide receivers. So like that value kind of like works against each other, right? But in traditional half PPR leagues, like I don't think like people really tend to forget how valuable the running back position actually is. I'd probably go Bijan over Chase and half PPR. Standard, definitely, but like, do any of you guys still play standard, like in a standard scoring format league? I almost like want to be in a standard formatting again, just because it's so like insanely ridiculous. But yeah, I might go Bijan and half PPR. Nothing against Chase, but chat, what do you guys think? Cat says Cup is a super good value, in my opinion. I don't mind him where he's going. I just haven't really been in a position to really draft him a lot. Yeah, the game got pretty boring, J-Dubs. J-Dubs likes Chase over Bijan. Yick says 12 teams, pick 1.5. Huh. I might go Chase there. No, I think I go Bijan still. I think I go Bijan. I was kind of trying to think of like what running backs you could get in rounds 2 and 3. And granted, I do think there's plenty of value as the draft goes on, but I think I go Bijan half PPR. But you can't really go wrong. Both picks are good picks. It's a weird draft. I think I'm going James Cook with this next pick. I think we're going to go a little heavy at running back after getting JJ and Brandon Ayuk. I really wanted Hollywood Brown, but I knew he wasn't going to fall. Jacobs, Cook, Rashad White, top running backs, Allen, Ridley, Worthy, your top wide receivers. Stroud's hanging around. Kyle Pitts, your top tight end. Yeah, let's switch up things here. Let's go 3 running backs in a row. Tom says flex for us catch. I don't even know how to like flex correctly. What's up, Tom? J-Dub says Burrow comeback season, in my opinion. Every season's a comeback season for Burrow. But yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about this, in last night's stream? Where it's like, especially if Higgins is gone, like, some people are going to look at that and say, like, oh, this is bad for Jamar Chase because, it's easier for defenses to line up against him. There's not really, like, any other, like, problems when you look at that offense lining up right now, unless you want to, like what, Mike Gesicki, Chase Brown. We like Jermaine Burton, right? I mean, I don't know. You never know, but it's still much easier to line up defensively against this team if Higgins is gone. But then it's like kind of similar to like CeeDee Lamb last year. Like that was a comparison we made where it's just like, I mean, this is the number one guy. He's just going to get fed with those targets. Like him and Burrow are still going to figure it out. So, I don't know. I think either way the Bengals are going to be fine. But you do have to look at things and like there's a lot of talent off of this Bengals team compared to where they were 2 years ago, right? Jacob says he still have access to Saquon, Henry, etc. in the second round as well as Jacobs. This is true. Like, you can't really go wrong there. You just kind of have to understand, like, you go wide receiver in the first, you're probably in a half PPR league going to need to go back-to-back running backs rounds 2 or 3, or you can just kind of play it safe and go RB, wide receiver, RB, or wide receiver, RB, wide receiver. Then you just have to make sure you kind of hit on some of the right guys in later rounds at running back if you kind of deploy it that way. And I still think that there's good value at running back later on. Can you also rank these groups of wide receivers? Ayuk, London, Adams. I probably go London, then Ayuk, then Adams. London for the upside now with an actual quarterback. Ayuk, I still really like. I'm not out on Ayuk. We've already talked about this tonight. Then Adams just because of the quarterback situation, but I think London has the most touchdown upside out of those guys. RBs, Pacheco, Henry, Jacobs. I probably go Henry, Pacheco, Jacobs. But I really like Pacheco. 100%. And I'm all in on Henry this year for sure. So I'd like to get Chris Godwin with this next pick, so he'll probably get selected because that's usually how it goes for me. I've noticed there's a lot of auto drafters in this draft. Kyle Pitts, the top-rated player. You got Godwin, Walker, Kittle, Addison, Ladd McConkey, Keon Coleman. So I'll go Chris Godwin here. So once again, we're kind of in a position where we can grab late-round quarterbacks in this draft, which is what I like. Brock Purdy's ADP is 111.4. Baker is 168.4. If we want to get a Vikings quarterback, that's absolutely doable. And, we're just correlating to what wide receivers we've already drafted in JJ, Ayuk, and Godwin. We're kind of okay at running back here. I'm not going to worry about running back for quite a bit. We have picks 79, 90, 103, and 114. So hopefully Purdy falls to 114. If he doesn't, we'd have to reach for him at 103. So these next two picks, I'm probably going back-to-back wide receivers and maybe taking a sprinkle at tight end. We'll see how things go. All right, let's see. So J-Dub says Henry, Pacheco, Jacobs. I just hate the second-round wide receivers. That's a fair standpoint for sure. That's why I say Chase. Second round has been historically hard to hit for me. Usually a ton of landmines at wide receivers. Yeah, and I've talked about this. This is why it's like really important this time of year to really try and dissect the second-round wide receiver tier and figure out who you like and who you don't like. Because if you can start to if you can hit on the second-round guys, it's just a tremendous value. because the first round running backs are very valuable. All right, so I'm going to go wide receiver at pick 79. Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, Rashee Rice, the guys, and I'm taking a heavy look at DeAndre Swift gone at pick 76. You know, I like to see that. All right, so Deontay Johnson or Christian Watson with this next pick. Just quickly looking at bye weeks. I'll go Christian Watson. I don't dislike either. I've been drafting both a lot lately, so and I feel like every draft I did last night I drafted Deontay Johnson, so we'll just switch it up here. We'll go Christian Watson. But I think both are very good picks. And I think Deontay Johnson's going to be a little bit more of a consistency type guy. And we already have consistency with JJ, Ayuk, and Godwin. I think the upside of Watson makes sense there. J-Dub says probably a lot of auto drafters due to mass entries before contest close, probably. This is fair. Yick says, got one more. Please rank Garrett Wilson, London, Marvin Harrison Jr., and half PPR. Half PPR, you want to think about touchdown upside. Like you want wide receivers who score touchdowns. I still play in a half PPR, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex league. Okay, it's like my home league that I've always been in, and that's what it is. And you really will like see your value go down at wide receiver if your wide receivers are not scoring touchdowns. So I probably go Garrett Wilson still at 1. Then Drake London, then Marvin Harrison Jr. I still think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have a good season, but I feel more confident in the touchdown upside with the other 2 wide receivers there. So I probably put them both above MH Jr. And plus, I do think that in theory the Jets and the Falcons offense will be in the red zone more than the Cardinals. And I actually kind of like the Cardinals offense. But, yeah, I just feel better about those other 2. So, we shall see. All right, so Cortland Sutton and Jameson Williams. I mean, I feel like that's a little bit higher than those 2 guys have been going. And those are like 2 guys I draft a lot of. So I'd like to get Jake Ferguson here. If not, maybe go Romeo Doubs so we can pivot to a Packers stack if we wanted to. But I drafted an all Packers team last night. Yeah, just give me Jake Ferguson. I mean, we literally drafted a team with Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Datavion Wicks, and Luke Musgrave. One of the, or maybe I didn't get Jaden Reed, but just the other 3. Maybe I did get. Does anyone remember? Either way. Eliminator tournament is fun. You should try one, says J-Dubs. I have seen it on here. I haven't actually looked at it. "17 weeks of advancement." What's the what's the difference between a regular tournament and an eliminator tournament? J-Dub says, I'll post data points for advance rates for each week based on percentages, but basically early buys are preferred. Weeks 1 through 9. Week 12 is usually where most will get eliminated, especially due to the number of week 12 players. Huh. I'll have to look at it. Give me your breakdown, J Dubs. I think they had this last year as well, right? Is it just every week? Oh, I guess I can hit all rules. Every week I'm reading the rules. Eliminator is basically you're in a new pod every week. Okay, okay. That's what I was basically trying to say. Cat says, this is why I'm confused. I assume you need vets to advance you every week. Huh. I'll have to look into it a little bit before hop into any. All right, I'm going to see if Purdy falls to 114. Although Dak, I could just take Dak right here if I wanted to. But I don't know. Maybe I will take Dak. I'm going to take Dak instead. I'm gonna X Purdy out because of the Ayuk drama. Because I don't want to base this. I got Ferguson and Dak. And then we'll go for Brandon Cooks. I might have to reach for Brandon Cooks at 114. I'd like to go with the best available running back at 114 and get Cooks at 127. His ADP is 124. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Like to see a little bit of a run at... Honestly, I wouldn't mind a run at running back because I'm onto my RB4, and I think there's good enough players for an RB4 available, but also like to see a run at quarterback because I'll just take Baker Mayfield late and not feel bad. Because we have Chris Godwin. All right, so there goes Jordan Love. Jared Goff is also gone this round. There goes Josh Palmer. And Tavon Wick's gone. He's another player rising up draft boards. This has been a draft where like a lot of like the kind of sleeper guys that I've been going after are going late or going early, excuse me. I was kind of torn. Brandon Cooks is the wide receiver 4 available right now. I got Mike Williams, A.D. Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, Brandon Cooks. But I also... I don't know. If I can get Jerome Ford at pick 127, I'll be happy. But I like Brian Robinson Jr. here, and I like Javonte Williams here. And what running back can I get at 138? It's just a crapshoot after that. It's just never find myself really coming out of a draft unless I go really aggressive or I'm happy with like my RB5. See, we kind of got what we needed to here. Run at quarterback. You got a tight end sprinkled in. A couple running backs. It's definitely possible Cooks could fall. And honestly, like I don't like this tier wide receiver. I'll just go Cooks here. I think the stack is more valuable, and then we go best running back at 127. We'll see. All right, so let's take a look at. Okay, so I'm just smaller with this view. Well, okay, this works, I guess. Switch it up. All right, so need to get. I really. Gus the Bus available. Gus Edwards or Jerome Ford at this next pick would make me feel happy. If they're not there, I'll just go like Austin Eckler. Yeah. All right, so need to figure out my tight end 2. We have pick 138. Top available tight ends are Fryermuth, Hawkinson, Kmet, Musgrave. I'd like to hit one of those guys. Not literally, but in this draft. A little run at quarterback here. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty solid about this team. So I think I pick 138. If I can get Musgrave at pick 151, I'd be really happy. Because that would allow me to go wide receiver at 138. Huh. It's tough sledding out here. This is always the part of the draft that's interesting, is like trying to fill in, QB, tight end, backup running backs, all that stuff, and still get the wide receivers and everything that you need. Gus Edwards is still available. Yeah, I mean, I like Jerome Ford a lot here, but I'll take Gus Edwards. I think both are really good picks. All right, guys, send a link in the chat. That is my active private draft. That's a slow draft that I'm trying to get filled. Gus the Bus, that's right, J-Dubs. Jerome Ford goes right after him. Cats, I saw that you were in. But I'm just going to keep working on getting these filled throughout the off season, just for fun, And I will go through and name those drafts as well. It's a slow draft, J-Dub, so no rush at all. I forgot to make a poll for the night. I don't know why, but I can't talk and type at the same time. If you guys have ever figured that out. All right. Dang, I'm feeling pretty good about that Gus the Bus slide right there. Would you guys rather have Gus Edwards or Jerome Ford? Okay, could go tight end with this next pick. Just get it out of the way. But I think I'm going to go Ricky Pearsall. The next guy I like the best is probably Jermaine Burton. All right, Demarcus Robinson moved up in ADP a little bit. I think they've adjusted ADP. Don't quote me, but I'll go Pearsall here because I also have Ayuk. You know, we get that correlation, right? Couple Niners on this team. So at 151, I'd like to get Luke Musgrave. Cats, those are so hard to remember my strategy as the draft goes on. I feel like it's easier, actually, for me. Yeah, I feel like it's easier. J-Dubs, I just have PTSD for having multiple underdog slow drafts and being in slow draft hell, especially when the notifications will only tell me with an hour left. Yeah, those 1 minute left notifications are scary. Cats. J-Dub says I prefer Gus over Ford. Okay, I do too. I mean, do you guys think there's really any, unless they sign someone else, or I don't know, like who is there to really sign at running back right now? But do you really see any other running back really taking over that backfield in the Chargers? I'm looking up free agent running backs. I feel like it can't be good. Damian Harris. That kind of surprises me. Cam Akers, Matt Breida, Kareem Hunt, Latavius Murray, Jerick McKinnon, Marlon Mack, Josh Kelly, Lynn Bowden, Benjamin, Deion Jackson. Okay, yeah, I'm not too scared about any of those names. There are some interesting names there, though. J-Dub says Khalil Herbert could be moved. I have heard that rumor. Been drafting him a ton. Yeah, I know you have. But I'm not really. I still think Gus Edwards would be the best back for that system. There goes Hawkinson. We need Musgrave here. I'm zoning in. Jermaine Burton's gone. Give us Luke Musgrave. Okay. I am the Luke Musgrave hype train. I've been the Luke Musgrave hype train all off season. Just give him to me here. One time. Top football players: Kirk Cousins, Quentin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Wright, and Musgrave is ours. Our prayers are answered. Now we got a little bit of Green Bay correlation here. Christian Watson and Luke Musgrave. I'm liking it, boys. Cowboys are wide open, in my opinion. Zeke is gassed, and Doodle is unproven. Yeah, because there's points where I kind of was like, I kind of like Dowdle. Like, he should get touches. But then when you really look back at last year, like, those touches were, like, super limited. Like, I know he made some splashes, but, like, literally, it's like he almost did nothing. Week 3 against Arizona, he was good, but it was mainly off of a receiving touchdown. Week 10, he was good against the Giants. He had 12 touches for 79 yards and a tutty. 9.6 points in week 12 where he scored a touchdown against Washington. 12.2 against Philly in week 14. He scored a touchdown. And week 18, he had 13 points. 3 receptions for 54 receiving yards and 46 yards on the ground. No tutty. He was the RB 50. Scored 91.5 fantasy points on the season. Really, when you look back, outside of those games I just listed, a lot of very limited usage behind my boy Tony P. So it's just hard to say, man. All right, with this next pick, I probably got to take my boy Baker unless I want to try and risk it for the biscuit, get him at 175. You got Rodgers, Watson, Baker, Geno, Will Levis. I think at 177 I have a chance to get Demarcus Robinson though. So I think we lock up our QB2 and we try to get Demarcus Robinson at 175. Because either way, yeah, I think that's what we do. I think that's what we do. Man, second draft in a row where I'm drafting Baker over Aaron Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson's out here too. I'm really going in on this Baker Mayfield Chris Godwin stack. Both players are just cheap. I was literally thinking about you guys all saying that you like Rodgers over Baker before the stream started. Cats was deep diving looking for the next Puka on Cowboys wide receiver depth chart. Spoiler, there is no one that is worthy. I don't know, with a player like Puka Nacua, you're only gonna see that very sparingly, very very sparingly. It just does not happen on a regular basis. All right, Jadeb's looking at your eliminator team. I won't be able to put it up on the screen, but you got Herbert, Stafford, Cousins. Talk about a quarterback room right there, man. Kyron Henry, Connor Herbert, Elijah Mitchell, Amon-Ra Ayuk, Hollywood Brown, Roma Dunze, Tyler Lockett, Darnell Mooney, Troy Franklin, DJ Chark, Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert. It's a pretty solid team. But I still don't understand the eliminator tournament, so I don't really know how it correlates to that. But overall, the team looks good. Thing is, Puka showed target earning capabilities in college. Should have been a hit. Me and you both liked Puka last year, if you recall. I remember drafting him in the Dynasty League. You were like, I like that pick. I remember. All right, we want Demarcus Robinson. I wouldn't mind Demario Douglas. I'm going to have a lot of Demarcus Robinson exposure, which I'm okay with. I like this team. I think it's actually been a super solid draft. I'll probably get sniped here because I just said that, but we got 3 more rounds. We need a RB5. We can load up our wide receiver. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? All right. As soon as I start oh yeah, this draft has been great. Everyone that I want's been falling to me. What happens? Oh no. Both of them out. And we have good tight ends. We have good quarterbacks. This is just bad. I just let the auto pick hit. I guess 2 rookie wide receivers in a row. Go Jalen McMillan. That would have been smart. Yeah, everyone I was looking at was just against ADP right there. Everyone was just against ADP. It's just funny. As soon as I was like, this has been like a perfect draft. But I'm pretty used to getting sniped on a regular basis. So, yeah, all the running backs are just gross here. I like Chicken Conquo, but I'd be like reaching for him. I don't mind Bryce Young at this point in the draft if I want a QB3, but it's like, once again, I could have gone Will Levis, then Chicken Conquo, like 199, like semi stack, I guess. But all right, Jadobs, I'll take a look. So just posted some data for Eliminator for you, John, in the Underdog chat. This data makes no sense to me. So week 1, 10 out of the 12 pods move along. Maybe not pods. So 83% of teams make it through week 1, 80% make it through weeks 2 and 3, 70% make it through week 4, 75 make it through weeks 5 and 6. And those numbers just get lower and lower and lower up to week 16. Then in week 17, 115 final teams. It is pods, okay. Hold on, let me make this draft pick. I'm going to have 3 rookie wide. Imagine hitting on 3 rookie wide receivers. Actually, dude, I'm just in a position where I hate I'm going to go Chicken Conquo. I like Chig as a tight end 3. I guess I need another running back, then another wide receiver. I think Dak and Baker can get us through. If not, I can sprinkle in Bryce Young here. Something about Dak and Baker actually does feel a little shaky. Huh. Okay, I kind of like the Eliminator, but what's the whole thing about the like rookie boost or whatever? The only thing that does suck with those types of tournaments is when you like actually don't do well. Then you're just out like after week 3. And you're like, well, that was anticlimactic, you know? But in theory, you just don't want that to happen. Because other than that, we got Best Ball Mania. All right, we got the Pug, but Super Flex. The Sprint, the Marathon. We still got weekly winners. I might do a weekly winners tonight. J-Dubs, basically veterans get a boost over rookies unless they have a definitive role. The Pug is filled? It's 84.8. I might hit up a weekly winners. Dang it, we missed Jalen McMillan. What a bummer. Roshan Johnson or Bryce Young? Just give me Roshan. I mean, we need an RB5. We have Henry, Pacheco, Cook, Edwards, Roshan Johnson. Yeah, I actually like this team tonight. We've got Prescott, Baker, Henry, Pacheco, Cook, Edwards, Roshan Johnson. I think these first 4 running backs can get us through. J.J. Ayuk, Godwin, Watson, Cooks, Ricky Pearsall, Troy Franklin. I was really hoping Troy Franklin would have been Demario Douglas or Marcus Robinson, but whatever. Jake Ferguson, Luke Musgrave, Chicken Conquo. So we got Prescott with Cooks and Fergie. We got Baker with Godwin. I think this is just a solid team, actually. I'm happy with this squad. What do you guys think? Jake, State Farm, what's up, bro? Sam Darnold late if you want a third QB. He's been killing in camp, and Vikings have a good playoff schedule. Yeah, I've drafted him once or twice, and it does make sense. But honestly, with those 2 rookie wide receivers, I kind of prefer to get a wide receiver right here. But the only guy I think worth drafting in any sense is DJ Chark. Unless you want to, like, hop on the Chase Claypool train, who had 77 receiving yards last year. Don't need another tight end. Could go Dameon Pierce. Could go Bryce Young. I mean, we're at pick 210. Like, you're not getting anyone good here. This has been a pretty competitive draft, too. Yeah, I'm just going to go DJ Chark. Give me someone. Trisner says Sam Darnold, I'm out of here. I mean, hey, we're drafting at pick. We're in the 18th round. Cats, it's too risky with the chance of him not starting and you getting zeros. This is fair. Yeah, I mean, and once again, it's like only taking Sam Darnold too because, or theoretically, because we have Justin Jefferson. I think the team that I drafted Darnold, I had JJ, Addison, and Hawkinson on that team. So it's like, I think we drafted McCarthy and Darnold, which I like made sense in my head. And then afterwards, I was like it didn't really cost us anything, but it was also like, okay, this didn't feel as good as it should have. But yeah, Dak, Baker, Derrick Henry, Pacheco, Cook, Gus the Bus. I always forget that it does that. Roshan Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin, Christian Watson, Brandon Cooks, Ricky Pearsall, Troy Franklin, DJ Chark, Jake Ferguson, Luke Musgrave, and Chig and Conquo. I'll take it. All right, if anyone wants to hop into a weekly winners with me, that's where I'm headed. There's 7 spots open. We'll see if this even fills. I don't know if it'll fill, honestly. I feel like with weekly winners, you have to go slow draft. I'm going to leave this draft. I don't think it's going to fill quick enough. Sorry, I know the screen looks like weird for you guys. Screw it. I'm just going Best Ball Mania. Thoughts on the Texans' playoff schedule? So you mean as in like playoff for best ball? I guess that'd be the only thing that makes sense. Yeah. Let's take a look. Yeah, if you guys want to draft with me, draft is filled. Never mind. J Dubs is in here. Let's go. So they have Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens. Is that correct? Yeah. Those should be 3 very competitive games. Ravens kind of scares me. But honestly, can't be too bad, right? All right, let's see here. $1.6. What are we gonna do? I know we haven't done as many mock drafts lately, so for those of you out there wanting to do some free mock drafts, we'll get some of those going this weekend as well. All right, CeeDee Lamb's gone. Tyreek Hill's gone. Christian McCaffrey's gone. Yeah, it's hard not to draft Bijan. J-Dubs. We got JJ last draft. I kind of like to get Amon-Ra right here. See who Thor picks. That's JJ. All right, we'll go Amon-Ra. All right, I'm going to try and look ahead a little bit here. And see if I can put together a strategy. All right, so Bijan goes at the 1.7. J-Dub scoops up Garrett Wilson at 1.8. Marvin Harrison's gone at 1.9. Brees Hall is gone. 2 more picks here in the first round. Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown gone. Pretty much those are the first 12 players you're going to see off the board. Maybe you see Gibbs in the first round and not Marvin Harrison Jr., but those two kind of flip. You know, first round, you can always see someone fall to the second round and vice versa. Second round guys can always see coming to the end of the first. So there goes London. There goes Gibbs. Okay, I think I have a strategy together, but I don't know. I think I want to go aggressive at wide receiver. Haven't done one of those drafts in a while where I just come out like wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, and then hit the dead zone at running back. But if Barkley's here, he's just so hard to pass on for me. There's no way Barkley is here. Starting a draft with Bijan and Barkley, I think, is ridiculous. He goes Adams. Okay, I'm gonna stick to my wide receiver strat, but I feel disgusted right now. I am in no way passing on Saquon Barkley. I think Barkley is the best pick there, hands down. Oh my gosh, Barkley's still on the board. I'm disgusted with myself right now. J-Dubs, I don't have much Taylor, so let's get fun. I mean, I think Taylor's a good value at the 2.5 as well. But yeah, oh my gosh, dude. This is the furthest I've seen Barkley slide in a while. Bijan Barkley's common, really? I guess so. Oh my gosh, dude. I can't believe I contributed to this. After talking about this like stream after stream. I haven't drafted like a 4-set wide receiver team in a while. Oh my gosh, why does everyone hate Barkley in this draft? This is a weird draft so far. Dang, I kind of wanted Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. I felt like that would be fun. If Barkley comes to 30, though, I there's no way. There's no way that that happens, and there's no way that I pass on him. Okay, thank you, Brendan, for making the logical pick here. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to go against ADP here, and I'm going to draft Tank Dell. We're going to go in on the Texans, baby. You know, J-Dubs brought it up. Good playoff schedule. We're going in. 1.3 is dancing for sure. Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, Saquon. Beautiful start. All right, give me Tank Dell. Let's go Texans. All right, I want to go 0 running back for this draft. Let's do it. I've not done this in a while. Zero RB. I can't believe it. I've been going like a little bit heavier at running back lately, so I think it's a good time to switch it up a little bit. See what happens. I'm going to try and not go running back to like pick 67. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Henry at the 312. So you get 4 running backs: Saquon, A-Chain, Kyron, Henry, 1 tight end, Laporta, first tight end off the board, and the rest wide receivers: Diggs, Pittman, Moore, Dell, Kupp, Metcalf, Higgins. Let's go, let's go. Quarterback starting to go here. There goes Hurts and Allen. Zay Flowers is gone. Team stacked is on the board. On the clock, I should say. Goes Trey McBride, takes the second tight end off the board. There goes Coop. Fast pick by J-Dubs. I do like Cooper in the 4th round. I just haven't ended up with a lot of shares of him. Give me Christian Kirk, baby. Hollywood Brown, Christian Kirk's super close there, and I like Terry McLaurin too. But I've been drafting a lot of Hollywood Brown lately, which I'm happy about. And I mean, I have drafted quite a bit of Christian Kirk as well, but like last couple drafts, I've really been drafting Hollywood Brown heavily. So Jacob says Browns have an upside match weeks 15 through 17. And it feels like Cooper always plays well around that time of year too. I mean, last year, 20 points week 15, 51.5 in week 16. I mean, Amari Cooper single-handedly won some people fantasy leagues and definitely moved people along in best ball tournaments for sure. All right, so Kelsey's off the board. I was kind of looking at Kelsey there, like that feels kind of fun, but there goes Terry, there goes Hollywood Brown. Like I said, Kirk, Terry, Hollywood Brown, all very close for me. Like Cooper a lot. Pickens and Flowers good here too. Flowers, I think, is a really good value. I mean, I still think he's for sure the wide receiver 1 on the Ravens. No doubt about it. You know, Andrews is there, but I think with the playoff performance, people are still kind of looking at Flowers as like question mark, but I'm good with him. There goes Andrews and Kincaid to start the 5th. So Browns playoff schedule is Chiefs, Bengals, in Miami. They have to pass to keep up for sure. I like that. These are good calls. There goes my homies. Y'all should know who I'm targeting right here. It should be obvious. And there are good players here. Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed, Anthony Richardson, James Cook, CJ Stroud, who we're drafting, Calvin Ridley, Xavier Worthy, Rashad White, Joe Mixon. I have Joe Mixon queued up. I don't think I'm going to get him at pick 67. His ADP is 61. There's a chance. There's a chance. Probably not. But there we go. Little Texan stack. Nico Dell and Stroud. You inspired it, J-Dubs. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, so interesting round so far. Andrews, Kincaid, Mahomes, Pacheco, Jacobs, Stroud, Richardson, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed. There goes James Cook. So 3 running backs, 2 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks, 2 wide receivers. Yeah, I don't think Mixon makes it back to us, but I'm okay with that. I'm probably going to go running back for the next 3 picks, though. Start to hit wide receiver again at pick 102. We'll see. J-Dubs gets Keenan Allen. So you got Garrett Wilson, JT, Metcalf, Cooper, Allen. I've got Stroud, Amon-Ra, Nico Collins, Dell, and Christian Kirk. All right, into the 6th round we go. Kyle Pitts, Chris Godwin, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Addison, all gone. J-Dubs is on the clock. I don't think I have a single share of George Kittle this year. Top available players: Joe Mixon, Roma Dunze, Kenneth Walker, George Kittle, Lad McConkey. I kind of like Lad right here too. But I probably need to go running back. So J-Dubs gets Joe Mixon. I had a feeling that was going to happen. I'll take Kenneth Walker here if he's available. He's not, but I just like I feel like I have to go running back here. Give me Kamara. Jacob says a cheap Houston exposure. Don't mind if I do. It was a good value for Mixon's, about 4 spots ahead of his ADP. So I don't blame you one bit. Don't blame me one bit. But yeah, I thought about going with another wide receiver right there. But we're pretty heavy at wide receiver. But we do have 2 of the same bye week. Obviously, with Collins and Dell, right? But there's a chance at pick 78 if I did want to pivot back to wide receiver. I could get a guy like Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, or Rashee Rice. I feel like this is a good team to get Rashee Rice on. But probably makes more sense to try and target a guy like David Montgomery or Aaron Jones. J-Dubs, I'm fading Kamara mostly because I'm a Kendre stan. Well, would you take Monty, Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, or Ramondre Stevenson over him? Because really right there with this team, it's like running back is the need. So it's like best available running back. I don't really have any shares of Kamara. Like I'm not really huge on Kamara either, but that actually made me kind of want to draft him a little bit more. Top available players. Well, there's one of them gone. Top available players: Monty, Deontay Johnson, JSN, Evan Ingram, Aaron Jones. I'm not going to lie. I was debating taking Rashee Rice at 78 if he was there. This felt like the type of build where he comes into play. I'd like to get Monty here. There goes JSN. But don't go Monty. Like, I guess I just go Aaron Jones. But Deontay Johnson sitting here also feels tempting. All right, I'll go Monty. I'm in on Monty. I'm happy with that pick. But I do think Deontay Johnson's a great value right here. Evan Ingram, a good pick there, J-Dubs. Move my camera back. Okay, sorry. Streamlink wasn't loading for me on my preview, and I thought I lost the stream for a minute. All right, picks 91, 102, and 115 coming up for me. Dude, I have not drafted a team like this in a while. And I'm absolutely loving the fear that I'm in right now at the running back position. But I do kind of want to get my wide receiver 5 locked up too. This is a weird spot to be in. When did DeAndre Swift go? Oh, he just went. Okay. DeAndre Swift or Mondre Stevenson, the two guys that I was like, I would be ecstatic if one of them fell out to pick 91. So 8th round here, Jake Ferguson, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, all gone. I like Jonathan Brooks. Goes Connor. Goes pop, lock, and drop it. It's probably Zamir White. Unless I grab that next wide receiver and I get Cortland Sutton. Because then I picks 102 and 115. Oh, Cortland Sutton goes. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? Give me Zamir White. I haven't really been on the Zamir White train. I just haven't felt good about it. But this is one of those teams where you're going to get some players like that. All right, so for picks 102, 115, probably just going either best wide receiver available or best running back available. So kind of eyeing Romeo Dobbs at pick 102. Then at 115, like Brian Robinson. Kind of anyone past that tier. This is also one of those teams where you probably end up with like 6 running backs. Because you just want that extra guy just in case. It's also a point in the draft where running backs are going to start going off the board. So this has been an interesting draft, honestly. All right. Give me the Dubster as my wide receiver 5. I kind of like this team, actually. I don't know. I think it's working out. J-Dubs goes Khalil Shakir. There goes Shaheed. So I've got picks 115 and 126. All right, J-Dubs, you got Wilson, JT, Metcalf, Cooper, Keenan Allen, Joe Mixon, Evan Ingram, Tyler Lockett. I'm not going to question anything that you do mid-draft. I'm sure there's a plan in place here. I think I have a plan too. I feel like ADP is a little bit off in this draft. No, I guess not. Actually, it's kind of lining up perfectly. Other than Jordan Love. So we're at pick 109. And if you look past Jordan Love, Singletary's ADP is 109. Brian Robinson's 110. Brock Purdy's is 111. Tajay Spears is 112. Javonte just went, which kind of threw it off. But Mike Williams is 114. Dallas Goedert's 115. So I guess we're on track. And into the 10th round we go with Devin Singletary off of the board. Top available quarterbacks are Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Time, and Goff. Top available running backs: Brian Robinson, Tajay Spears, Gus Edwards, Chase Brown, Blake Corum, Austin Eckler. Top available wide receivers: Mike Williams, A.D. Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, Jontavion Wicks, Brandon Cooks. Top available tight ends are Dalton Schultz, Pat Fryermuth, T.J. Hawkinson, Cole Kmet, and Luke Musgrave. I'm kind of torn on what to do with this next pick. It's got a auto pick Jordan Love right there off the board. Jacobs goes or says week 17 stacks. I like it. I like it. What quarterbacks are you eyeing with this team? Geno and Watson? T-Law? Couple good players right here. Man, I am really ending up with a lot of Gus Edwards shares, which I don't feel bad about necessarily. Trevor Lawrence would have been interesting here too, with having Christian Kirk on this team. There's a certain tier wide receiver that I'm waiting to break or see break here. A.D. Mitchell, Myers, Wicks, Cooks, Judy, Downs, Dotson. I feel like a good amount of these guys are going to start going off the board. And also, I think there's a big tier break about to happen at running back too. I don't know. For going zero running back, we have Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Zamir White, Gus Edwards. Like, not a lot of upside, but I feel like we did okay. We did have to kind of pay a premium here going into this Texans ultra stack here. I mean, you have to get Stroud in the 5th, and you have to get 2 guys in the first 2 or 3 rounds. You have to get Nico, then Diggs or Dell in the 3rd. So that's 3 players in the first 5 rounds gone. We almost got Mixon in the 6th, too. All right, there goes, a little bit of that tier right there. Mitchell, Judy, Wicks, Downs, Cooks, all gone. Some quarterback action going here. Tua and Purdy gone. This is actually a really tough pick for me because there's some running backs that I really like right here. But Dalton Schultz is also on the board. And I kind of feel like we have to pick Dalton Schultz with this team. But, man, the drop-off at running back that's about to happen is so gross. But go Texans. Jerome Ford, really tough to pass on right there. Really, really tough to pass on. I might regret not drafting Jerome Ford there, but oh well. It is what it is. I know there's no way Ford makes it back to 139. So now at running back, we're looking at you got maybe Nick Chubb falls out, Kendre Miller, Rico Doodle, Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler. Wide receiver is also about to get pretty thin, and really after we get this 5th running back, we just need to go in at wide receiver. And really, like, quarterback 2, tight end 2. I mean, like, if I can get Musgrave or Komet, I'm pretty happy. Then draft a guy like Chicken Conquo, Jatavion Sanders, Dawson Knox is a tight end 3, Mike Gesicki, whatever. Most of those guys we can get a pick 198 or 211. So we're going to be in a position where we just start going in at wide receiver. But Justin Herbert also available. Kind of feels like a player I don't mind drafting at this point in the draft. Throw him behind Stroud. Kind of a good value pick because we're not really looking at a lot of studs here at wide receiver anyways. Oh, man. Don't tell me this guy is going to end up ruining the draft. He's got 4 quarterbacks. I'll be super pissed. Jerome Ford is a great pick for you there, J-Dubs. I'm actually like, I'm super stoked he went to your team. Dang. I was like actually kind of excited to draft Herbert there. All right, I'll take Charbonnet here, though. Charbonnet or Nick Chubb? Limit of 5. Yeah, I was going to say like 4 and 4 makes sense, but not really like, I don't know, but this guy looks like, I mean, he drafts a bit, so as long as he doesn't draft more than 5, the draft doesn't get kicked, right? I almost went Pat Fryermuth there as well. Basketball Mania is placed a limit of, oh, so like you literally can't draft more than 5? I feel like that's a better rule, like just to have it to where like you literally cannot draft more than a set amount of players. All right, so I'm kind of done at running back. Didn't get any of those second tier tight ends, and kind of worried about Hawkinson. I don't get him to like week 5 at best case scenario. This might be kind of out of pocket, but I'm just going to get Stafford here. Take him as my QB2. So we're basically done at quarterback. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more picks. So probably want 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a running back, or 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers. Almost went Hawkinson. Yeah, I think that works way better, J-Dubs, to where it's just like Like, because every now and then last year, the year before, we'd have a draft where someone takes 8 quarterbacks, and then you're just like, oh, well, this isn't even going to count. But I feel like 4 makes more sense. Like, if you got, like, I mean, I don't know, 4 in a row is like, you just don't see that as often. If you're taking, like, 2 guys late, like, you take 1 guy early, like, let's say you take Jaden Daniels in the 9th, Caleb Williams in the 9th, someone in the 4th, 5th, or 6th. Then you get, like, 2, like, a Will Levis and a Sam Darnold. Like, that, like, doesn't feel as egregious. All right, so I've got 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 5 wide receivers, and a tight end. I like this entry, though. For going 0 running back, I actually feel like kind of nice about this team. There goes Baker. Seeing quarterback kind of gets like pushed back in this draft too because it's been a heavy quarterback draft. There goes your boy, J-Dubs. Ray Davis is gone. No Ray Davis for you. All right, I mean, I have a couple players lined up here I'd like to get. Knowing my luck, I probably won't get them. So we'll see what shakes out here. I'm going to go Wandell Robinson with this next pick. He's another guy in this kind of tier that I like. I think there's upside. I think he's a good best ball pick. If not, it's probably Demario Douglas. But let's get a little exposure change here, and let's get Robinson. We have a pretty solid wide receiver room. Amon-Ra, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Christian Kirk, Romeo Dobbs. So we'll sprinkle in a little upside there. I don't think I'm going to walk away with both Demario Douglas and Demarcus Robinson. So I'll probably have to pick one or the other at 174. And I pick 187. I don't exactly know where I'm going to go. This is kind of the point in the draft where I'm just like, I just have like set players that I like, and I don't really like. ADP doesn't really come into play as much for me here. You kind of just have to go out and get the guys that you like. J-Dubs, this is a 3 quarterback build for me. All right, there goes Demario Douglas, so that might make things easier here. But like I said, ADP doesn't really come into play for the rest of the draft, I don't think, for the most part. So there might be other players who Thor might like Demarcus Robinson here. If he doesn't pick him, that's who I'm going with. If he does pick him, I'll go Chupa Hubbard. But, yeah. Give me Demarcus Robinson. Nice wide receiver room. Amon-Ra, Nico, Dell, Kirk, Dobbs, Randall Robinson, Demarcus Robinson. So, yeah, 3 picks left. I probably just stack up a tight end, get a long shot at running back. And once again, I don't mind getting Bryce Young as like a QB3 in this point in the draft. J-Dubs, you got Wilson, Taylor, Metcalf, Cooper, Allen, Mixon, Ingram, Lockett, Shakir, Chase Brown, Jacoby Myers, Jerome Ford, Watson, Rogers, Marvin Mims. Little light at running back over there. Not really. Sorry, I forgot about JT. JT Mixon, Brown, Ford. Okay, first I was a little bit worried. Wilson, Metcalf, Cooper, Allen, Lockett, Shakir, Myers, Marvin Mims. Good wide receiver room. Kind of good value quarterback room. You got Ingram in there. Yeah, nice little team here. All right, we'll see how things shake on out. I like Chuba Hubbard in the 15th round. I think he's still going to have plenty of good games, even if Jonathan Brooks ends up taking over that backfield. So I'm probably eyeing like Chicken Conquo with this next pick. Gotta go get my tight end 2. I really like the value on Chicken Conquo. Kate Otten's there. Tyler Conklin's there. I mean, who do you guys prefer? Now, Kate Otten's gone. Never mind. Derek Carr's gone. J-Dubs, was that your guy? Braylon Allen. J.K. Dobbins. Give me the Chickster. All right, so picks 198 and 211. Might throw a running back in here. J-Dubs, I know New Orleans. I just know you like Carr. What, Bo Nix? Yeah, I guess you only have one Denver player. Dang, I kind of wanted Dameon Pierce. I think I'm going to start drafting Kenneth Gainwell again. I think that's what my teams need. There's just like no one at wide receiver, man. I'm just gonna get whoever is top of my queue right here. Jatavon Sanders. Okay. Albert, good to see you here towards the end of the stream. I mean, it's just hard. Like Tyler Boyd, DJ Chark, Odell Beckham. Those are the only wide receivers I'm considering here. Only running back I'm considering Donta Foreman or I guess Roshan Johnson. Then you could take one of the Eagles running backs, backup running backs. tight ends, Jatavion Sanders, Dawson Knox. Quarterback, Bryce Young. I feel better about Bryce Young than I do Drake May, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Bo Nix, Russell Wilson. If anything, I'd take Daniel Jones just because this team has Randall Robinson. So we get 3 tight ends. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. Do we add a RB6 or a wide receiver 8? That's the real question. I feel like CJ Stroud and Matthew Stafford can get us through. Most of my builds only have 2 quarterbacks. All right. 17th round is wrapping up. Last round of the draft. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. It is getting late for me, so obviously this will be last draft of the night, but make sure you guys hit the like on your way out. Like I said, we'll have some more mock drafts coming up throughout the week for those of you guys who want to hop in on some actual mock drafts. And plenty of content planned over the next couple of weeks as well. I'll probably sign off right when the draft ends. But fun stream tonight. 2 good entries, I think. J-Dub says you're going to like this pick. I'm excited. Bo Nix, I knew it. I knew it, bro. Dang, I was about to go Donta Foreman there. All right, I'll go Odell Beckham. I still think Odell Beckham's going to have like 3 weeks in the season where he's valuable in best ball. So I'll take him. If Foreman's there, I'll probably go Foreman. The other pick here is if I want to go wide receiver, DJ Chark. If I want to go quarterback, it's Bryce Young or Daniel Jones. But like, I don't really want to draft either of those guys, but whatever. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for drafting, talking some fantasy. I will probably run a mock draft tomorrow night, try and get a couple more people out here. So, but yeah, it's been a good couple days of Underdog drafting. Lots of entries, lots of solid entries as well. And another great stream tonight. So I appreciate you guys. Hit the like, do all the YouTube stuff. Links are down below. And I'll talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And